Hello, I am Scrapping Orca and I am a scrapbooker from Sweden. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to show you how to make this amazing waterfall card. Just watch my video and I'll give you all the measurements and step by step how to make this card. Okay, so let's get this going to make this waterfall card. I pre-cut some stuff already, and we're gonna need different types of stuff. So this one is the cardstock, and the measurements on this one is 5.5 inch times 4 1/4 of an inch, and this is the base where we put everything on. And this one is, I'm gonna call this the waterfall base, and this one is the same length as the cardstock base, which is 5.5 inch, and it's 2 inches wide, and we're gonna have that to pull. So I'm gonna repeat all the measurements and later on, but I'll keep going through them. And this one is the piece that you're gonna need to hold the waterfall down, and this one is 4 times 1 inch, and we're gonna need these pieces. One that is 2 times 2, which is the piece that's the first piece upon it, and then I'm gonna need 3 of these pieces, and these are 2 3/4 of an inch times 2, so 3 of these. But I'm gonna go through all this step by step, so don't worry about it. So let's start by, I'm gonna put this aside, and then I'm gonna start with the base here. So I'm gonna use this one, and this one is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card base, which means that this one is 5 1/4. Bye kitty kitty. So this one is 1/4 of an inch smaller than this one, which means it's 5 1/4 of an inch here, and it's 4 inches here, and I'm just gonna glue that on here, so like that. And I'm gonna do this with all the pieces that needs to have like a mat underneath it, which is the piece to hold the waterfall and all of these pieces. But first I'm gonna score these 3 pieces. So I'm gonna score them at 3/4 of an inch. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm gonna score the waterfall base piece also. And I'm gonna score that at the same measurements, which is 3/4 of an inch. Oops. And that, my friends, are all the scoring that you need to do. So 3/4 of an inch scoring, all the 3 the same measurements, and the waterfall base. So yeah, that's it. Not too much scoring this time. Now I'm gonna decorate the pieces that needs to be decorated, which is these ones. And like any other time, I pre-cut all of these pieces, so just glue them on. These 4 squares are the same measurements, and they are 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. And this black piece is 1/4 of an inch smaller, of course, which means that this one is 3 3/4 of an inch times 3 3/4 inch. So I'm gonna put them on to these ones. So like this. Now all 3 has black pieces that's supposed to be having black pieces upon them. And I also, while I was mounting the black cardstock upon the green one, I folded this one. So now I need to put on some design papers. So I found this amazing paper that I got at a scrap meet, I think, in the goodie bag, and I love the colors, and it's getting closer to spring, so we need more flowers, and I love these plants. So let's put them on. I'm gonna save the first one empty because I want to have some sentiment on it, so I'm gonna do that before I'm putting the whole card together. And I already suited them, so let's just put them on like this. And don't you think this looks just amazing? Do you love this paper? I absolutely do. And before putting it on and assembling the whole card, we need to have something on this one. And I think this is gonna to be a congratulations card, so I'm gonna find a stamp that says something like that. So let's do some heat embossing. I love heat embossing. I'm gonna put this here, and this says happy birthday to you. And I think we want gold. Yeah, so let's do gold. So I'm gonna need this one, and which makes the embossing powder stays on. And I'm gonna stamp it a few times just to make sure it gets enough ink to get the powder to stick. And I always put this on a paper, and then I pour this powder on this. And I shake the embossing powder around so it gets to every little sticky place. Knock it off. You might have to tap it underneath on the back side, and you sometimes need to have a brush and brush off the extras that's around. That depends on how perfect you want the card to be. Yeah, and now it's just like a brown sand kind of thing. Now I'm gonna pour all the extra back into my little container, and I get my favorite thing, tweezer, because this hot air gun, which I'm gonna use to melt the powder, is gonna get pretty hot holding the paper down here. So I'm gonna hold here and take care of my fingers. So let's just see the magic happens. So, like this. Looks pretty amazing, don't you think? This stamp was really good. I haven't used that one before. Got it from some scrapbooking magazine that I have a subscription on. This one's really, really nice. Really like it. So now let's mount this. And we're gonna need this one. And we're gonna need all these 3 pieces. So I'm gonna put these two on the sides for now. The first one that I want at the front, I'm gonna glue onto the little fold piece. And remember that the piece that you want to pick up, you're gonna fold this forward. I've chosen a paper that's shiny on one side and not shiny on the other side. So I want the not shiny part. So I'm gonna glue this one on here. So let's do that. Gonna put some extra glue upon this so I make sure it's stuck. So, and you make sure you get it corner to corner so it covers the whole folded flap. So now you've done your first part. Now I've done my first part. So now to the next part. I'm gonna turn this upside down like this. And now I have to decide which one I want to come next. I want this one. So I'm gonna glue this one on to the other side of the flap, which gonna leave this. So put glue on this flap here. Like this. And you put the flap, the quarter of an inch flap, to the back side of the other quarter of an inch flap. And you put it close to the fold line, but not too close. You have to be able to fold this. And if you put it too close, you won't be able to fold this, and it's gonna be all bad. So, like this. And you just make sure it's straight. And now for the next part. So which one do I want now? I want this one. So the same thing. Put the glue on the thing that I folded. Like this. And now I want this. And this one I want to wear the first flap that I just mounted on the scoring line. So close enough to the folded part where I scored, so I can fold this one. You see, here's the first flap, and this one is folded over here. And now the next part I folded is here, and the next part I'm gonna glue here. Same thing again. Glue on the little tiny flappy flap, and just below on the square part. Like this. And now I got myself a little shrew. Nice. So now I've done the waterfall pieces, which is gonna look like this. Now take the piece that holds the waterfall, and then I'm gonna glue this up on like this, which means I have to put it here so I know where I want the fall to be, and make sure it's in the middle and yeah, centered enough for me. And I want my waterfall to be a bit below, like that, so I can't see the cardstock paper, but I can see the black. So there is what I wanted. I'm gonna put some glue, and I'm gonna use this piece that holds the waterfall. I'm gonna put glue in the edges, because in between here the waterfall is gonna move up and down, and you want some glue here. So let's see if it is where I want it. Have to be pretty fast so it's easy to move, and that's also a reason why I put so much glue on, so I can adjust it a teeny tiny bit longer than otherwise. And now I want to glue this part on. You could glue up on here, but I think it's easier to glue here, because now I can adjust the waterfall so it's in the middle, and then I just pour glue on here, and then I see at the edges where I have to stop, and then I just fold it down. Hope you're with me. And this one also has to be kind of strong. Maybe that's too much. Yeah. You can always get one of those glue eraser things when you get too much glue peeking out. So now I'm gonna be able to just pull this, but I have to let it dry a bit. So let's do that and find a nice ribbon. Gonna punch a hole here and put a ribbon here so I can pull it up and down easier. So some ribbon. You could also use washi tape if you don't have any ribbons. Then you just take a piece of washi tape like this, make it double because you don't want it sticky, and you could use the loose ends to put it here, and you can pull in that. So either way, but I want a ribbon, and here we got some ribbon, and you don't want too long and you don't want too short, so I'm gonna cut it a bit longer than I think that I'm gonna need. And so I think it's better to, yeah, like this. I'm gonna cut it like this. I got nice edges. And depending on the ribbon that you want to use, or if you're gonna use washi tape, you will decide the size of the hole. So I think this has dried enough, don't you think? So let's pull out the flap. Let's try this. Pretty nice, right? And if you want to have some sentiments on this card, you just turn it around and you can put a white cardstock, which I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, and I'm gonna reuse the stamp and I'm gonna put it up in here. That sounds like a plan. So let's just make a hole in the tab, and I had this one, so I'm gonna use the wide one, and it cuts out a beautiful hole. Perfect every time. So I'm gonna put the ribbons through the hole on the back side, through the front, and through the loop. You have to pull, but if you pull too hard, the hole will break, so take it easy. I'm gonna put a teeny tiny piece of glue to make sure that this ribbon stays where I want it to stay. And that way it doesn't untie itself. I'm gonna use my favorite thing again to hold the ribbon while it dries. And I'm gonna find a white cardstock to put on the back. So there we go with the cardstock that I want on the back, and I'm gonna stamp this with this amazing stamp once again, and I'm gonna use my stamping tool again. But for this one I won't be using embossing, so I'm just gonna use some stamping black, maybe like that, and then I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna put something more on. I thought it was a bit too white, so just gonna use black again and just put something on like this. Gonna add a bit extra, I think, so like this. And I really like my stamping tool because this makes it able, when you know this happens all the time, you stamp and the stamp doesn't get it 100%. It's missing some ink or it's crooked, and okay, so you think you're gonna re-stamp it, and at least I can absolutely not stamp twice at exactly the same place without this one. This has saved my project so many times, so I absolutely love it. I think this turned out pretty nice, and I think the ribbon has dried up, so let's put it like this. I'm gonna put this on the back here. So let's put on some golden bling onto the card. So I think we're done with the card. So this is a waterfall card. Not so much folding, but still a real nice and beautiful card. And a great card to give someone that you like. So I already did one of these, and I did a card for a colleague who is gonna start another job, and she's gonna start working with us very soon, unfortunately. So it says good luck, lycka till, and her name is Linda, if you didn't guess. And it says you are fantastic, hugs, and good luck with your new job. You are gonna miss us. So it's the same fold and different papers, and I had some words here, and you can decorate this anyhow you like. I have not put some cardstock on the back side, but I'm gonna do that before I give it to her. I'm gonna write all our names on it. So a real easy and super fun card to make and to give to someone, and it looks just amazing. And with this paper, oh, I just love this paper. It's not so much folding, but it's still an amazing card, and it's not hard at all. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please comment down below. I love your comments. I would be very happy if you would write me where you're from. Just make a comment and say hi and I'm from, watching from. That would be real nice. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Then you won't miss out on any other of my videos. So I wish you all a great day, and I hope I see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.